Hello viewers, this is Paladin of Odin, and this is some more Magic the Gathering Online. This is another episode of the Standard Commentary series. And it looks like Blue-Red Eldrazi versus Mono-Green Ramp. Ramp just got hit in the face for 7 damage, he's down to 13. And all he's got is a Hedron Crawler. He plays another Majoring Network and passes the turn. There really isn't a whole lot that ramp decks can do to stop big creatures like Reality Smasher, except play bigger creatures. And he doesn't have the mana right now, and he hasn't played any acceleration either. So Eldrazi Sky Spawner, and then a Spatial Contortion on the Hedron Crawler. He responds by using the crawler to put a counter on Majoring Network. And he'll take another 7 damage this turn. And I don't think that there's anything that he can do. Winds of Kalsisma. Well, that will save 7 damage. Buy him 1 turn. But he really needs to start throwing stuff down. Even if it's just a Rattleclaw Mystic to chump block. And Nissa's Renewal. That'll put him back up to 20, and now he has 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 mana. End of turn Dimensional Infiltrator from Eldrazi. So, we've got 1, 3, 5, 10, 12 damage on the board right now. And Eldrazi is attacking all in. And before combat, he throws down Temur Battle Rage on Reality Smasher. So that became 16 damage. And Thought-Knot Seer to top it off. Now we'll get to see what's in Ramp's hand. He gets rid of Nissa's Renewal. And he has 2 land and Kozilek. He does play a Shrine of the Forsaken Gods, so he top-decked that. 4, 5, 6... 11 mana. I think Kozilek is 12, isn't he? No, he's only 10. But he's really not going to help you, because he has flyers. So that was quite the impressive aggro from the Blue-Red Eldrazi deck. And not so impressive ramp from the ramp deck. So, let's go to game 2. Okay, turn 2 Rattleclaw Mystic from the ramp side. And this particular ramp deck is not really equipped very well to deal with the Eldrazi. He's not running a second color, so he doesn't get the extra turns that the blue-green version does. He doesn't get Dragonlord Atarka, or Kozilek's Return, or Radiant Flames from the red-green version. Explosive Vegetation. He's up to 6 mana. Dimensional Infiltrator from Eldrazi at the end of turn. And Herald of Kozilek. Ghostfire Blade. Attacks in for 2. Ramp will be at 18. So, like I said, since the mono-green ramp deck is so limited, his only option against this Eldrazi deck is to play his big creatures as soon as he can. So there's Nissa's Renewal. That'll put him up to 25, get him 3 more lands, so he'll have 9 lands and the Rattleclaw. So 10 total mana. So a much better ramp from him this time. Crumble to dust on Majoring Network. And I have to be honest here, I mean, it was the only choice he had for Crumble to Dust, but honestly, you're kind of doing him a favor by getting rid of those 3 lands out of his deck if he's running 4 copies. Okay, so he runs 3 copies, so so he lost 1 land that was in play, but effectively you're thinning out his deck for him. And attacking in for 4? I highly doubt that he's going to block here. What's he playing? Hedron Archive. And Conduit of Ruin. Well, now he gets to search up a bomb, and he goes for Kozilek. And Conduit of Ruin isn't a bad creature either. He's a 5/5, so he can eat that Herald of Kozilek if he wants to. And even if he equips the Ghostfire Blade to it, it's still only a 4/6, so the Conduit can still block it and save himself some damage. And the Conduit won't die. Eldrazi throws down Sky Spawner and follows it up with a second Sky Spawner, which will give him another Scion, which he can sacrifice so that he can equip the Ghostfire Blade. But he doesn't. And he attacks in with the Dimensional Infiltrator. I was thinking Drowner of Hope for some reason. So ramp is down to 19. But that's really not good enough. And he didn't have to tap all of that mana. So he drops Kozilek. If you have fewer than 7 cards in hand, draw cards equal to the difference. So now he's back up to 7 cards in hand. Plays a land for the turn, so he has 4 mana to play with, but must not have had anything to play. But it also means that he has cards that he can discard to Kozilek to counter something if the math comes out right. So 4 mana, Thought-Knot Seer. Does he have a 4-cost spell in his hand? Yes, he does. A Hedron Archive. So Thought-Knot Seer is countered. And attacks in with his flyers. That'll be 6 damage. So ramps down to 13. So there is a threat here, since he can't block flying right now. And probably the only creature he has that can is Worldbreaker. And what is he playing now? Nissa's Pilgrimage. That's 3 more lands out of his deck. And he's still got 10 mana on the field right now that he can use. But he moves into combat, attacks in with Kozilek and Conduit of Ruin. And he has to take all 17 damage. He's down to 2 menace, so he would have had to block with the Herald and Scion, which he could have done, Saved himself 12 damage. Herald of Kozilek. Does he have a 3-drop? Or does he even care that much at the moment? The Herald resolves. Vile Aggregate, another 3-drop, which is currently a 7/5. And he's attacking in with all of his flyers again. That's 6 more damage, and ramp is down to 7. This is actually a pretty close race. And in goes Kozilek and the Conduit. And he has to block both creatures. So the Scion in front of Kozilek, along with a Herald and Vile Aggregate in front of Conduit. So trades all around except for Kozilek. Second main phase, Conduit of Ruin. And he'll get to search up another bomb, which he most likely will be able to play. He searched up Ulamog. 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 mana. Equipping the Ghostfire Blade, and wow, the Eldrazi deck pulled it out. That's 8 damage flying, unless he has winds, which he does. And he concedes. That was basically his last-ditch attack. If he hadn't had winds, Eldrazi would have won. Since he did, Eldrazi was going to be unable to block Kozilek, so he lost. And that was actually a pretty tight match. But that was Blue-Red Eldrazi versus Mono-Green Ramp. And if you liked what you saw, hit that like and subscribe button for me, and I'll see you in the